In a world where faith, fame, and temptation often collide, one photograph has set the gospel community ablaze. Tonight, social media is trembling under the weight of a scandal no one saw coming. Tiffany, a voice known for speaking what others only whisper, has exposed a secret that's breaking the internet in real time. The image is simple: Tamela Mann and Kirk Franklin on a private yacht, the sun falling behind them, their smiles too close for comfort. But the meaning behind it? Anything but simple. For decades, Tamela and her husband David Mann have been the golden couple of gospel music, the image of love, unity, and faith. Yet one leaked photo has turned that story into something darker. Sources close to the family claim David is devastated, blindsided, and left questioning everything he thought was unshakable. Fans are torn between disbelief and heartbreak, wondering if the couple they prayed for is now falling apart before their eyes. And as the photo spreads, one truth becomes clear: what was once private is now public, and nothing in the gospel world will ever be the same again. When Tiffany first hinted that something was brewing inside the gospel circle, no one paid attention. Her words were usually dismissed as speculation, another voice chasing clicks in an overcrowded sea of gossip. But this time her tone was different, measured, deliberate, carrying a weight that felt too real to ignore. Late one evening she went live on her channel, her voice low but steady. The light behind her dimmed. "I've seen the photo," she said, "and it's not what you think. It's worse." Within minutes, thousands tuned in, comments flying faster than she could read them. Viewers waited as she pulled up the image, letting the suspense stretch until the air itself seemed to hold its breath. Then she dropped the yacht photo that would set the internet ablaze. The picture showed Tamela Mann and Kirk Franklin sitting close together on the deck of a sleek white yacht, a golden sunset washing over them. Tamela's laughter was frozen mid-moment, her hand brushing Kirk's arm, his eyes fixed on her as if nothing else existed. It wasn't scandalous in an obvious wayno embrace, no kiss, but it was the intimacy that spoke louder than words. The angle, the lighting, the unguarded smiles, everything about it whispered a kind of connection that fans weren't ready to see. Within an hour, the image had been shared on every major platform. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag Tamela and Kirk. Hashtag gospel scandal. Hashtag David Mann, heartbreak. News pages posted side-by-side photos of Tamela and David smiling on red carpets, now contrasted against the mysterious glow of the yacht scene. Memes, think pieces, and reaction videos poured in. Everyone had an opinion, but no one had the truth. Tiffany kept repeating one detail that cut deeper than the image itself. David Mann had allegedly posted the photo first. That revelation changed everything. If the photo came from David, it wasn't just a leak, it was a message. Fans dissected every pixel, trying to trace its origin. But what haunted people most wasn't the photos. Source it was David's silence afterward. No caption, no statement, just that single post that screamed betrayal without saying a word. People started digging. When had Tamela and Kirk last worked together? What events had they attended recently? Suddenly, old interviews resurfaced, clips where Tamela praised Kirk's artistry. Moments when he called her the most anointed woman I've ever worked with. At the time, those exchanges had seemed harmless, brother-sister camaraderie in the world of gospel music. But now, under the harsh light of suspicion, every smile looked loaded. Every compliment sounded coded, and then came the confession that started it all. Weeks before the photo went viral, David Mann had opened up in an interview that was supposed to be about his music, but quickly turned personal. He'd said, quietly, "After Tamela lost all that weight, she don't look at me the same no more." It was one of those raw, unfiltered admissions that hit like a punch. Fans had praised his honesty at first, sending messages of support. They called it the growing pains of long marriage, the cost of change. But now, with the yacht picture circulating, those words took on a new, painful meaning. People began connecting dots that might not even exist. But once the narrative was out, it had a life of its own. Inside industry circles, whispers turned to open conversations. Some insiders claimed Tamela had become distant, that she spent long hours on calls with Kirk, sometimes laughing softly in ways she hadn't in years. Others said it was nonsense. Tamela was just focusing on her career, her health, and her faith. But speculation doesn't need evidence. It only needs oxygen. And Tiffany's expos had given it plenty. As the story spread, old fans began confessing how betrayed they felt. "They were our model couple," one fan wrote beneath the viral post. "They prayed together. They sang together. They showed us what Christian love looked like. If they can't make it, who can?" Another comment simply read, "That picture hurt my soul." But not everyone condemned Tamela. Some voices rose to defend her, saying she deserved happiness, freedom, and the right to rediscover herself beyond the label of a wife. "Maybe she's just glowing," someone tweeted. "Weight loss, self-love, and peace look good on her. Don't twist that into guilt." Through it all, Tamela remained silent. No statement, no denial, No cryptic verse or late-night post. Nothing. And her silence did what words never could, deepened the mystery. Even gospel radio hosts began debating it live, their callers divided, their voices trembling between outrage and heartbreak. "It feels like we're watching something wholly fall apart," one host said. And yet, somewhere beneath the chaos, a single question echoed louder than the noise. If David Mann really posted that photo himself, what was he trying to say? The morning after the photo went viral, the world of gospel music didn't wake up, it exploded. Every talk show, every podcast, every gossip page had the same headline flashing across their screens. Tamela Mann and Kirk caught, or misunderstood. The noise was deafening. Tiffany's channel hit record-breaking numbers overnight. Her live stream replay became a trending clip, and suddenly, she was being invited onto shows to share what she knows. But even Tiffany seemed taken aback by how big it had gotten. "I didn't mean to destroy anyone," she said softly in a later post. "I just wanted the truth out there." But the truth? Once it's out, doesn't care about intentions. Behind the scenes, things were unraveling fast. David Mann had reportedly turned off his phone for 2 days. Close friends said he'd gone completely silent, not answering calls, not showing up for scheduled appearances. One insider described him as a man whose spirit had left the room. His team tried to spin it, claiming he was focusing on his music, but the public wasn't buying it. Every silence was interpreted as pain. Every old photo reposted on his page became an open wound. The fans kept poking. Meanwhile, Tamela and Kirk's names refused to leave the spotlight. People started analyzing Kirk's social media like detectives looking for clues. A motivational post about loyalty and growth was suddenly read as a confession. A studio selfie with Tamela from months earlier was dragged back into circulation, captioned by strangers as the beginning of the end. Even Kirk's wife, Tammy Collins, wasn't spared. Her name began trending after fans speculated how she must be feeling. The scandal had grown larger than anyone involved. It had turned into a public morality play about faith, love, and betrayal. Then came the theories. Some said the yacht photo was taken during a private celebration for a project Kirk and Tamela had been working on. Others claimed it was staged part of a publicity stunt for an upcoming music release. But the most haunting rumor was that David himself had leaked it out of heartbreak, his own form of silent protest. The narrative twisted hourly, reshaped by every post, every reaction video, every whispered comment from an anonymous source. In the chaos, old interviews resurfaced where David had praised Tamela as his anchor, his best friend, his everything. Watching those clips now felt like watching the ghost of a happier time. He'd once said, "No matter what happens, she's my forever." Fans replayed that line again and again. Typing comments like this didn't age well. Others begged for grace, reminding people that the couple had given 30 years of love to the world. And maybe, just maybe, they deserved privacy now. But the internet doesn't do privacy. It devours pain and feeds on speculation. When Tiffany uploaded another video claiming there was more to come, the comment section went wild. "What else could there be?" someone asked. Another replied, "She must have messages or screenshots." Tiffany never confirmed it, but the implication alone was enough to reignite the fire. The story refused to die late that week. Someone leaked audio that allegedly captured a tense phone call between David and a close friend. In the clip, a man's voice, believed to be David's, could be heard saying, "I'm done trying. I gave her everything and she still drifted." Whether the clip was real or fabricated didn't matter by the time it hit social media. It was truth enough for millions. The heartbreak had a sound now, and that sound traveled everywhere in the midst of it all. Tamela posted a photo on her Instagram story, no caption, just a quiet sunset over still water. To her fans, it looked peaceful. To her critics, it looked like escape. And once again, her silence spoke louder than any statement could. By the end of the week, the story had become bigger than any of them could control. It wasn't just a scandal anymore. It had turned into a movement of opinions, judgment, and endless speculation. Gospel fans, normally united by worship and inspiration, were now at war in comment sections, defending or condemning the people they once prayed with. Church groups debated it during Bible study. Even pastors began mentioning it in sermons, warning their congregations about temptation, loyalty, and the dangers of fame. The line between spiritual reflection and gossip blurred completely. David Mann's closest friends said he looked like a man trying to breathe underwater. Every time he stepped out in public, phones followed him, recording, waiting for a reaction. He smiled when he could, but the exhaustion showed in his eyes. Those who knew him best said he wasn't angry, just hurt beyond words. One friend told a reporter, "David's not the type to expose people out of spite. If he posted that photo, it wasn't revenge. It was heartbreak." That statement struck a chord. Suddenly, people began rethinking everything. Maybe the photo wasn't meant as proof of betrayal, but as a cry for help? Meanwhile, Kirk Franklin was nowhere to be found. His usual flood of motivational posts stopped overnight. No interviews, no live sessions, nothing. It was as if he'd vanished, retreating into silence just like Tamela. But silence can be dangerous when the world is screaming for answers. Each day without a response only made the rumors grow. Some said Kirk was trying to protect his family. Others claimed his team had told him to lay low until things cooled off. Yet, in the court of public opinion, silence is guilt by default then. On the 7th day after the expose, a new piece of footage surfaced. A fan had uploaded a shaky video taken weeks earlier at a small private event. In it, Tamela and Kirk were seen rehearsing a song together. The chemistry between them was undeniable, laughing, teasing, finishing each other's lines. It was pure artistic energy, but in the context of the scandal, it looked like something more. The clip went viral within hours. The caption read, "So this was before the yacht." That one line poured gasoline on an already burning fire. Underneath the video, comments spiraled out of control. "This isn't friendship anymore," one user wrote. "You can see it in the way they look at each other." Another fan replied, "Stop judging, y'all don't know their hearts." But no amount of reasoning could slow the avalanche. The narrative had momentum. Now every old clip, every shared glance, every lyric was being reinterpreted under the lens of betrayal. And through it all, Tiffany kept posting updates, her tone growing more serious with each one. "Y'all think you've seen everything?" she said in her latest video. Her eyes fixed on the camera. "But you haven't. There's more behind this story. People in their circle have started talking, and what they're saying, it changes everything." She didn't elaborate, leaving her audience hanging in suspense. But her followers didn't need details. They filled in the blanks themselves. By the time she ended the stream, #TiffanyExposes Part 2 was trending. David Mann's representatives finally released a short statement the next morning. It was only one sentence long. David asks for prayer and privacy as he focuses on his faith and healing. It should have calmed things down. Instead, it made it worse. Fans took it as confirmation that the marriage was breaking. Media outlets quoted it endlessly, turning it into a headline. David Mann seeks healing after Tamela scandal. That same evening, Tamela was spotted leaving a recording studio in Dallas. Paparazzi surrounded her, shouting questions. "Are you and Kirk together? Did David leak the photo? Are you two still married?" She didn't say a word. She simply smiled politely, waved, and stepped into a black SUV. The cameras captured that smile, froze it in time, and before sunrise, it was everywhere. People called it the smile that hides a storm. And just like that, what had started as one photograph had turned into a saga of faith, fame, and fracture, a story too big to contain, too emotional to forget. So now the world waits. The photo, the silence, the rumors, they've all become pieces of a puzzle that no one can seem to solve. Is this the fall of gospel's most beloved couple, or the cruel twist of a story built on half-truths and public judgment? Was Tiffany exposing the truth, or lighting a match in a room full of dry paper? Maybe somewhere in between those moments of silence and side eyes, there's a truth only the people involved will ever know. The people involved will ever know. But what about you? You've seen the photo. You've heard the confessions. You've felt the heartbreak unfold in real time. Do you believe Tamela was caught in something deeper? Or is she being painted as the villain for choosing herself? Was David the betrayed husband, or the man who wanted to control the narrative before it controlled him? And what about Kirk Franklin? Is he just the friend caught in the crossfire? Or the man standing too close to the flame? Tell us what you think. Drop your thoughts below. No filters, no fear. Are you Team David, Team Tamela, or Team Truth? Hit that like button if you think the truth will come out soon. And share this video so everyone can join the debate. Subscribe and turn on notifications because this story isn't over. The next chapter is already unfolding behind closed doors. And when it breaks, you'll want to be the first to know. Because in the world of fame and faith, nothing stays hidden forever. Not love, not lies, and certainly not the truth.